for anyone that was that liked Liverpool. Man United were dog shit, weren't they? I don't know what they're trying to do.
What are we talking about in this place? What is this?
But the red stripe was very nice, Richard. Thank you. And someone even got some tequila rose in, as I shared on the group, which was most unexpected for a Sunday afternoon, but most pleasant.
When did you start?
What, drinking?
Yeah.
Maisie had a little football thing at Clee Fields. It was quite nice, actually. It was all right. They did well.
What time did it kick off?
It started at she started at 1:30, and we were done about 2:30. So I got round to the Linden. I had to walk. Long story, but we tried to find a hole in the fence, and it took ages to walk because there wasn't a hole in the fence anymore. Got around there about 3. Probably my first pint about 3.
Oh, fine. And when did you get back?
About 20 minutes ago.
Okay, there we go. Good evening, everybody. Sam, the only one braving a town shirt in this weather. Nothing better than a bunch of overweight people in the hot heat wearing nylon all day. That it doesn't matter what away end you're in, it reeks.
It is a crap material for wearing socially. You can see why most people that you see wearing a football shirt to the game are on their own. You'll see a guy at a bus stop just in a town shirt, and he's got nobody with him, and there's a reason for that. The family have gone on the bus before.
No one sat with him on the bus either. Either Sam's microphone is broke, or he's been more. Oh, there he goes.
No, I was messing around with my microphone. It wasn't working properly, so I've unplugged it and plugged it back in again, and now it's fine.
Oh yeah,
I've made a career out of that.
What were you trying to do then, Sam? Try and make it sound more like you're in a toilet.
No. I was trying to be clever and get my AirPods working in conjunction with the microphone, but it didn't work properly. So I'll try that again.
Yeah,
it should do. Yeah, it's worked before like that, but I couldn't hear you for love nor money. It's beautiful, to be honest with you.
Your AirPods have got a microphone built in, Sam.
They have, but Alex bought this for me as a kind of like a gift from the pod, so I kind of feel duty bound to use it.
Just put
it in front of you. Just put it in front of you, and he doesn't need to know any the wiser. It doesn't need to be plugged in.
No, that's true.
It's true. Yeah. So I'm just too honest to my own good. Never. This is the first time you can say that about someone from the Conservative Party, Alex.
Hang on, Ben. I'm going to say this. This is not a 4K camera. Well, I mean, it's my iPhone, but all I did was buy like an £8 app that made it into a webcam. This is more expensive. How you feeling, Sam? This is your up north place. I don't see any Conservative Party posters on the wall. Just your scantily clad picture of Thatcher riding a miner.
There's no scantily clad picture of any Conservative leaders here. Thank you very much. No, it's all very what's the word? Civilized. No, I'm at mum and dad's for the weekend. I'm going back, saving the future of Conservatism tomorrow.
I meant coal miner for anyone listening. By the way, we're not talking about the people that she was acquainted with during her life. Bruce has got a question.
No, I was waving to somebody outside.
Who are you waving to outside?
I think it was Katie Wheeler. She walked past and waved because I'm sort of lit up in the window like one of the girls in Amsterdam, and she just like waved as she went past.
I've shut my curtains. So
one of the girls from 10 a.m. on a Monday morning in Amsterdam, the real prime time.
Oh, the morning girls. They are a different league to the afternoon and evening girls. You are bang on. We thought it was hilarious when we went the first time. It's like sort of it's like you've dragged the sort of I don't know. The Women's Institute have been dragged out in it for them. Like, come on, girls, we're going out for lunch, and they haven't told them what they're eating. You know what I mean? It's like that, isn't
it? Luke, Pinhead Luke, in every sense of the way, has never heard of, never been on this podcast before. Get on with the football chat, for fuck's sake. Absolutely not. And Ben backs us up.
See you later, mate. We'll see you
later, Luke.
Thanks for coming.
There's another podcast that does that. Don't go with it. Don't stick with this one.
Oh dear Lord.
Hand it out with kind of.
I was coming to you because you'd unmuted, so I was just coming back to you to say.
Oh, I've never muted myself back again. No, we've had this out with meaningless banter abuse, and just general drivel. Isn't that the USP of this?
Core content.
Sorry, Luke.
It's the core content.
He's just trying to G us up. He's trying to be a producer.
Is he
I
angry
really
for a
think
job?
Sam's saying get away. He needs it first. How long is your contract for as the logistical mastermind behind saving the Conservative Party?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a kind of outlook because it could, in theory, all be over on Wednesday if we get knocked out in the first round. But
Oh dear, he's going for the Bradford City angle of politics.
But in theory, it should at the very least be after. It will be at the very least after conference, which is the end of this month, or more likely November. In all honesty, but I'm not involved in the kind of what would you call it? The sort of toing and froing and sort of wheeling and dealing to get MPs' votes on the side, which is what decides how long this contest lasts.
Too much information, Sam. Have you got a new job yet?
Not quite. I'm not.
So
I tell you what.
This is part of your gardening. This is part of your gardening leave, though, isn't it? This isn't a new job. This is just you trying to sort of sort yourself out for the future, hoping that something happens. Is that right?
Yeah, but broadly speaking, yes. There's a lot of well-connected people on this campaign, or inferior well-connected people on this. Certainly more well-connected than me.
Hang on, Daniel Lewis is far more observant than we are. Whoever did your hair wants their windows put in Sam.
I think it's all right.
Did you go in and say, I wanted, I'm going back to Grimsby for a few days. I need to fit in. Can you take the sides off the hair?
No, this is my normal haircut. I had it done yesterday.
Turn to the side. That is not your normal haircut.
Oh, has he got Svan Thorsen's initials in the side of his head?
Oh, it's Jemmed.
Right, you can't. He's not been on for weeks. You can't leave him alone. Sam, are you all right? Alex is bullying you.
I was on last week.
Shut up. Remember, I'm in charge of HR here. So if you've got a problem, all right.
You are right. Yes, of course. Yes.
Shut up. If Alex has been nasty, you come to me, yeah?
God, if you're in charge of HR, we'll get cancelled. Right. And Pinhead Luke gets me on side immediately saying the Tories are aimless, useless and fucked. And speaking of useless and fucked, let's talk about Bradford City because they've played us twice so far this season, had their proverbial asses handed to them, back to Thorpe Park with you. And Bruce, may we, before you start stripping, may we talk? You have had a victory, have you not? You've had a victory. What did they say over the tannoy yesterday?
What I heard was they said the attendance is including whatever 1,000 and whatever from Bradford. Thank you for your continued support was what I heard. I didn't hear any thank you for coming bollocks or anything like that. Youngie, Sam, you were both at the game. Am I correct? Somebody said no, they did thank them for coming, but I did not hear them thank them for coming.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, we didn't get the whole thank you for coming. We hope you enjoyed your afternoon and have a safe journey back to West Yorkshire. They got rid. It was much toned down from the kind of what we were getting at the back end of last season. So I think you can declare final victory on that one, Bruce.
So what do you need the club to do next, Bruce? What's your next? Do you need them to say something else? Do you need them to say, get fucked, go back to your caravan on Thorpe Park, buses waiting outside for you, go and have your shit fish and chips down the seafront at Papas and Seaways? What do you need them to say?
I think it's little gains. It's little gains, and I think that the final straw, and I think it broke Kev on PA, to be honest, was when he had to say it while Sheffield Wednesday was celebrating their 4th goal on Tuesday night. It's like, can you be a little bit? Can you quieten down a little bit, please? Can you quieten down? Thank you for coming.
The kids are in bed. Yeah.
No,
well, Kev doesn't have to say it, does he? He's not like the club. Don't go. Can you thank them for coming? He's just being polite, isn't he? Nice man.
I don't know if Benson's Beds have sponsored the thank you for coming, but
well, I've done that PA job previously, and nobody's ever put a gun next to our heads to basically say you must thank the away support. But obviously, if there is a sponsor involved, I'm guessing there's something. But yeah, you have to say it. You have to say how many's come. But like, you certainly don't have to go and thank you very much, so much to the X amount from Bradford. It's a victory for common sense, Bruce, and I'm proud of you. Proud for starting a revolution.
As an away fan, I like to know how many of us have travelled. I've got no problem with them saying how many there are. What we got on Saturday was perfect for me. That's, we'd like to thank you for coming. Thank you for your money. Hope you've all had lots of drinks behind the bar. And
thanks for your money, you mugs.
Thank you for the Thank you for the 3 points. Now fuck off home.
Oh.
Well, how are you now, Pinhead Luke, after kind of just another... We're at nearly 11 minutes now. We've not talked about the game at all. Is this acceptable? Or...
No, he's here.
He's got... He's put...
Okay, Sam's right. Let's get on with it.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be on a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good goal. You can't make it straight for that.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. The Mariners vanquished that age-old enemy who we haven't beaten since Bruce was born in 1903.
Since before Sam was born.
That is very true. How long has it been, Bruce? You're the man with all the stats.
26 years.
26 years.
It's 22 meetings, isn't it? Because, of course, not beaten Leeds United since 1990, whatever it is, but we've not played them, but we've played Bradford loads of times, so it's
our bogey team.
And also, it's not just that we haven't beaten them, it's the number of times we've conceded late goals to them. I remember one about 15 years ago when Justin Whitlock had that ridiculous penalty given against him, the afternoon when Phil Barnes got sent off. And we, I think it was a 93rd, 94th minute they equalised or something. And that was one last season.
Sam's getting above his station. As we were saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Radio Humberside's newest commentator. Grimsby Town beat Bradford City for the first time. You three were there. Youngie, what was it like? We'll talk to Sam in a minute because he's already going over it.
I tell you what, at times it was blooming glorious. It was absolutely lovely watching us play. It felt like a big atmosphere. It didn't feel like the normal League Two fixture. There we was, playing attacking football, having a go at them, passing it on the ground, moving and switching and closing down. Oh, I tell you what, it was bloody lovely.
Come on, Mr. Barrick. How did you feel? You're in the new approved main stand. You sent us the pictures of your view. How was it seeing at least 97% of the pitch?
The new view in the main stand was weird in the grounds that it was amazing how quickly I've got used to it. 2 games and like no post in the way of either goal. I mean, I don't think I'd have seen Danny Rose's goal on Saturday last season because he'd been buried behind the post and I wouldn't have had a clue what I'm doing. Wouldn't have had a clue what was going on. I'd been asking people next to me going, what's happening? But I agree with Youngie that in terms of, in my time, certainly watching in league football at Blundell Park, which frankly my lifespan is a crap part of our history, that's as good as anything I can remember. The way we moved the ball and the way we controlled the game and the openings we crafted, not by virtue of them being open or mistakes, just by sheer skill and stuff. It was kind of quite difficult to not get carried away with it, to be honest with you. I can't remember many better sides coming to Blundell Park in the league and playing football like that. Maybe the exception of Mansfield last season, who were very, very good, and maybe a Crewe side before that. But it was really, really good. Of course, the question is now, can you go to Chesterfield and do that next week? And how will you do it when eventually sides wise up to it and put 10 men behind the ball and make it harder for us and don't come on to us and don't create the spaces? That's when the question's going to come. But in the meantime, I think we need to revel in the fact that we're actually playing some good football, which I've not seen in League Two.
It's certainly a lot different from what Blunder Park faithful have been aware of for the last couple of seasons. We had that pretty awful season where we finished mid-table, but how many victories did we see? Sort of 6, and 3 or 4 of them came at the very last few games of the season. Bruce, in terms of the pantheon of performances you've seen from Town, where does that rank? And did you feel there was a mood change at Blunder Park? Because we've talked at times about the negativity directed towards Artell. Do you think yesterday will go a long way to putting that to bed and almost unifying the fan base again?
Your first part of your question, I thought that the first goal was key yesterday. I thought they were actually on top until we scored, and then the fans got a boost of confidence. The players got a boost of confidence, and thereafter, probably for the next 65 minutes, we were very, very good. It was just enjoyable. Football should be enjoyable. Where does it rank? I've seen good performances. Don't get me wrong. Not so many of them are in recent memory, but it was a good performance. Like I say, I'm under no illusions that I thought they were the better team. They didn't test us a lot, but they had more of the ball at 0-0. And I think, just going back to Sam's point, that I think the first goal in games that we play in is going to be very, very important, regardless of the opponent, because we saw Fleetwood, we let them score, and then they just put 8 men behind the ball. And it was very, very hard to break down. The big clubs will come and have a go. And if we score the first goal, they've got to keep having a go. If they score the first goal, they can shut up shop. And we saw I've said before that England couldn't break down the low block, as they call it now. Town have got little chance of that. But let's take it as it was. I've been to so many shit games over the last 10 or 15, 20 years at Town. Like you say, our home record's been abysmal. And we've won 2 out of 2. For 65 minutes of the game, we were very, very good. There was some lovely passing football. It was enjoyable. The fans got engaged. There was 2 big away followings in the last week, which I think helps the atmosphere. And let's hope it continues. And I think it will. I think if we score the first goal against, bearing in mind we played Cheltenham, who were the mid-table, but they got relegated last season, and we played Bradford, who were second yesterday. If we get the first goal against teams like Morecambe and maybe Accrington and a few other sort of, of the lesser clubs with the squads that are not as strong as Bradford's, then we might dish out some good beatings.
Yeah, I massively agree with the first goal thing, and that over the last probably 18 months, the thing that this side we have massively lacked is character when we go behind. I think, how many times did we see it last season where we'd go behind and you knew the game was already over as soon as it hit 1-0, and we never looked like we could break teams down once we got ahead. And it's kind of happened twice this season as well. So that's going to be a real test when we get to that point where, because there will be games that we go behind and we're going to have to chase, and at home especially, where teams will be happy to hit the 1-0, get players behind the ball, and we're going to have to figure that out. But the one thing we all kind of messaged, didn't we, at half time, basically saying, right, can we sustain this? Because all season long so far, we've gone into second half of games and struggled. We looked tired. We haven't been able to keep up the pace. But the refreshing thing about yesterday was we went at it. As soon as that whistle began for second half, we were back at it again, back in the faces, back having a go. Even when we scored the second, we didn't relent. We still kept on going. And realistically, Bradford's goal was their only shot of the half. They never looked like they were going to score. We gifted them a goal. And for a team of that quality to come here and for us to essentially be in control, and that's the main thing. How many games have we realistically been in control of in the last kind of 18 months? little to none. And to see that yesterday, but not just being controlled, but being controlled by playing really good attacking football, yeah, it was just refreshing and great to see.
I'm just reading Pinhead Loops here. Next time we lose, the Moaners will be back slugging Artell off. I'm not, honestly, I'm maybe getting a little bit carried away. I'm not sure it will to the same extent because you can, unlike in previous seasons, every single season again in the league that I've had, it's been a case of game to game survival. Can we churn out enough points to sort of survive or even be a little bit better than that? And then after that, we'll get rid of a load of, we'll have a massive turnover of players again to start again the following season. With this, there's a kind of philosophy underpinning it, which means that I'd hope that people are more forgiving because that you can see what's behind it rather than just kind of being utterly results driven. It's almost a sort of Pep Guardiola versus Jose Mourinho argument, if you like, a little bit. I know I'm massively over exaggerating how effective we are, but I think you try to understand what I'm trying to say there.
I think there is an element though of our fan base, and it's probably the same with all clubs, that they just have to have a reaction to any result. And if we lose at Chesterfield 2-0, we'll be shit again. We win the next home game, we're brilliant again. I think we've just got to live with that. I think that just seems to be the way that it is now. And I think that people have come out now and they've called Artell out too early, in my opinion. But there'll be some that I won't say can't wait for him to lose a couple of games, but some people, it feels like that them saving face is more important than actually what we're doing. And I think people will jump on him again when we lose.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing with the internet, isn't it? The old moany, shouty bloke in the pub has now got an audience, and when he goes on Facebook, praise and grumble, or whatever it may be. So, and then he finds that the people that didn't used to listen to him, he now has a little bit of a following. But because sadly, some people want to be proven right, don't they? But I think what Sam's saying is absolutely correct. I think the more performances you have like yesterday, and for percentage of the Cheltenham game, percentages of even the first half against Sheffield Wednesday, the more that people will see what he's trying to do and see actually there's an underline of a decent team here. I think the more leeway he'll get over time.
Sam,
Sorry, Bruce.
You were a big Paul Hurst fan. Would you rather watch? Do you now buy into Artell? Do you think that we've got more chance of being successful with Artell's methods and theories than we have with Paul Hurst? Because I couldn't see under Hurst what we were trying to do, not just towards the end, but the whole of last season. I couldn't see how we were trying to score goals, and I can see that with this.
No, I agree with you. I think I was saying to somebody, saying to cut a couple of people last week because Trophy, I know they won yesterday, but started the season pretty poorly. I think the game's probably moved on beyond Hursty, and his methods don't work anymore to the same degree they used to. And we're playing, certainly with this is what I mean about rather than sort of going from game to game survival. It's all with Hurst. It was always about functionality, fundamentally conservative, sort of trying to sort of garner together enough points to stay up.
Now I know why you liked him.
Be conservative as small c. With this, you say there's actually a philosophy underpinning it. There's philosophy underpinning it. We're way, way, way better to watch now than we were under Hurst at any stage. Neither of his spells. Miles more entertaining. You wouldn't have a player like McEachran pinging it left, right, and centre off both feet under Hurst, or McJanet playing it out from the back, or Yarson cutting in with kind of lightning. But you never had that under Hurst, as much as I liked him. This is a different way of playing, and it's far more entertaining to watch. And as I said, I think the game's moved beyond Hurst. Certainly the football club had, and that's why he was a bit of a dead man walking last season anyway. When you look back in hindsight, I'm now more sold on Artell than I have been at any stage. I went in hard on him last season.
I think
did well to keep us up, and I think he's buying himself a hell of a lot of time now because of what he's clearly doing in the background.
I think some of the problems you have with someone like Slade or Hurst, if your football isn't going right, there isn't anything in terms of the performance to fall back on or the niceness of the eyes. If you're, trying to play off set pieces, trying to be pragmatic with your football, trying to get it up long, knocked down, if those long balls are not hitting it, it just looks awful. Artell obviously tried to play the way we're playing now straight away last season, got absolutely hammered for it because the players weren't educated or good enough to be able to educate it. When you've got someone like McEachran and McJanet in the middle of the park, that's leaps and bounds above what we had last season in terms of what the players were able to do. So you can understand why he then had to fall on his sword and his principles, and play it out that way. I'm reluctant to criticize Hurst and say he's moved past. He is managing in League One, but I think when it goes wrong, it looks bad. And I'm quite happy to have 2015, 2016 season here and watch Bogle and Hammond hammer it in. And Noland was nowhere of the same quality as McEachran is, but he was doing that same sort of pinging it left, right, trying to spread it. But this football is a bit above that, and there are bits of it which are Buckley-esque in terms of that sort of ball onto the wing, wait for the overlap, try and dump the ball over the top to those who are overlapping, so that the guy can chest it down and then bring the next guy into overlap again. That was something that I saw both under McMenemy when we played well, and Buckley in sort of like the 99-2000 season, which is always great to see. And everyone gets applauded. I see loads of people putting in, Svans Thorson had a great game, Green had a great game. I'm always happy to sort of talk about who you thought would, the big players. I'm really impressed with Sam Thorson and his feet and his ball control, and I'm really impressed with McEachran. He's, he's one of the best midfielders I've seen for a while. Ian Biglin, formerly of this parish, said that Thompson is the best midfielder he's seen at Town for 20 years. So I'd like to everyone to have a thought about that. I thought that was a big shout.
What, Curtis?
Yeah. I wonder if McEachran's going to give him a run for his money by the end of the season.
Just going back, you talking about players though. We did that yesterday with Doug Tharm just only fit enough for a place on the bench. No Davies. No, there's no Davies.
Thompson.
No Tharm. Thompson. No Pike.
Who else is missing? Yeah. Well,
the new lad.
Bruce has done a Jamie Oliver recipe there where he's gone one step too far. He's put banana in the red Thai curry. That's what he's done right there when he's mentioned Pike.
No, in all seriousness though, I mean, we did that. We've got a small squad. We've got players injured. I mean, our luck with injuries is appalling. If we had a fully fit squad, and I know you probably won't have that, and most clubs won't have that all season, I think we've got a. You imagine yesterday, and you've got maybe one of the lads that was playing, or you've got not Davis wouldn't be on the bench. I don't think you've got Thompson to bring on. When you're trying to shore it up towards the end. I mean, he said himself, didn't he? He had two fullbacks playing midfield yesterday, and that sort of brings me on to my only sort of negative with this, which I've commented on all season so far. And Sam said we gifted them a goal. The guy ran unchallenged from inside his own half to the edge of our penalty area and was allowed to get a shot off again. And that's happened after the first 2 or 3 minutes at Notts County, and it's happened in other games. And we need to start. I think we did it once during the game. Somebody took one for the team and got a booking, and we needed to do that when they scored. But that's, like I say, that's nitpicking in a good performance. But that is a concern for me, how one player has sliced through our midfield on a few occasions. But like I say, I'm not going to dwell on that today because the game and the performance doesn't warrant it.
Tim, you're absolutely right.
Looking at the keeper for the goal.
I meant Lenny Lawrence, not Lauren McMenemy. I'm youthful, obviously. Sam, what were you going to say? And then we'll go to Bradford for their reaction.
I'm looking at the keeper for their goal as well. Wright's either got to catch it, smother it, or he's got to push it round the post. As it was, he did a Crocombe and did neither. Pushed it straight back into the danger zone. It's gone straight to their goal.
He has to throw shade at somebody, doesn't he? He can't, there always has to be collateral damage with a Sam hot take. There has to be somebody else that's going down with it. I think Wright made a mistake. It's the second mistake he's made. I don't think he knows he's made a mistake. That's up to him to fix. there's not much else you can say about it. And if that had happened, maybe it'd have been an entirely, a complete performance. They're very rare. But who would like to see how Bradford are dealing with their first defeat to Town in the league since 1998?
Yes, please.
Biggest head loss of the week.
Point of the game why we didn't get the 3 points, or we didn't even pick up a point against a poor team. They are a poor team, they haven't been doing well recently. I watched them get played off the park by Notts County. I watched them, in other games so far this season, last season as well. They've got a lot of the same players, the same manager as well. This is not a good footballing side. They're not going to be up there.
Biggest head loss of the week.
Rainer's Bantam there, losing his mind. Any thoughts on that from anyone?
Why does he look like he's filmed it in a terrorist hostage situation?
Most Bradford fans have to be forced to be Bradford fans, which is why they're kept at gunpoint just to have that opinion.
He needs to leave his room more often.
That's why I'm not in the studio anymore, Bruce. I'm going for a wider view of the world. So I'm coming into the living room.
We're going on a tour of your house, Alex. We had the garden a couple of weeks ago. We had the studio last week. We've got the living room today. You're doing it from the toilet next week?
Well, those who've been here, that the studio is pretty close to the downstairs toilet.
He's done it in the toilet for years under the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. The kitchen next week, Sam. I'll do it in the kitchen next week. It'll be fine. I'm glad everybody enjoyed that video. Anyone you want to, push out there, people in your, give a favourable opinion on? I thought I said McEachran and Svan Thorson. Lots of people praising Green for a strong position from midfield. Second goal where he sort of driven it out and put it away, or helped put it away.
Yeah, Kieran Green was superb yesterday.
I was moderately encouraged by.
So yeah, his energy. Like I've been a critic of Green, even on this podcast. I've been a critic of Green, but I must admit I've never been keen on this idea of him playing as the kind of attacking midfielder. But what I saw yesterday, and I think with him and Rose combined, was their energy. Bradford just could not cope with them two just snapping at the defenders all the time, like pressing with such high energy from kind of deep. Both of them absolutely brilliant. But yeah, and where did that little bit of skill come from? The turn, he used his full buttocks to turn around for that before he put that cross in. That was a bit of skill that never thought I'd see from him. He was brilliant.
Pete
his full buttocks. I've never heard that in a football analysis before.
Eden Hazard was well known for having the greatest arse in football.
Josh Emmanuel, when we had him last year, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Pack them shorts in.
Okay.
We've got
I think McJanet, just going back to what you asked, Alex, I think McJanet is very quietly going about his business and you don't notice him. And I think that's in a really positive way. And I think I think Rodgers has done all right. A lot of people wrote Rodgers off, but he was part of our defence when we were waxing lyrical at the start of last season before the wheels fell off after Bradford. And I think there's a player in there. And I think you bring Tharm back into the equation, and I'm quite happy with those three as your choice of centre backs. And I thought the fullbacks as well. I've been heavily critical to anyone that would listen of Warren. I thought he got skinned in both the FA Cup, in both the League Cup games. And I thought he grew into the game yesterday with the rest of the team, and the same with Hume. I think we've been very susceptible to attacks down our flanks. Not always the fullback's fault. I don't think Vernon always helps his fullback out enough, but I thought both of them grew into the game yesterday, and I think they both ended up. Well, I think the whole team contributed to. That was another thing that was enjoyable and pleasant about it. That the whole team contributed to that performance.
I was kind of, what was I going to say? I like the left-footedness of McJanet. There's more balance to it, so they can play it out better. And I can't remember the last time we had a left-footed or certainly decent left-footed centre half. And you said Tharm, I'm not sure Tharm comes back in straight away, to be honest with you. I think, despite the fact we've shipped quite a lot of goals, I don't really hold the centre halves responsible for that. And I think
Here we
Rodgers has
go.
won
Sam,
everything
now
aerially.
Mike isn't here. Sam is quite happy to go at Doug. You know, you're a brave
He
man,
had to get
Sam.
it in there yesterday. He had to get it in there yesterday, didn't he? That Doug Farm was giving orders from the touchline. He couldn't go 90 minutes without shoehorning him into conversation somehow. But no, I thought Rodgers played well. He won everything aerially. He didn't do anything wrong. I think he's started the season well, and I don't think you'd leave him out. Of course, he's a centre half, so he's going to get suspended or maybe injured at some point. So, what's his face will get a. Why is my hair getting so much stick tonight? This is
Because he looks like a nice gem. Please, sir, let me say I'm so smart.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I thought Warren did well yesterday. I thought his delivery into the box was very threatening.
I don't question his delivery. He's put some great crosses in, but for me, his primary job is as a fullback is to defend. And I think there's a few occasions in both the cup games, and it may be that he's had tricky opponents where he's dived in and committed a bit early. There were a couple of occasions, I think yesterday, where in the start of the game where he went to head the ball and he misread it and it went over his head to the winger, or that might have been Tuesday night. I could be getting mixed up, but like I say, it's early days for all these players. I think there's a keeper in right. I think it's early days, and I think we've got to be very young Grimsby like, and we've got to be a bit patient with some of these lads and give them a chance and not get on the backs. So they better go and win at Chesterfield next week.
Oh, Bruce is at it. Can I say something about Vernon as well? I think still positive. Hang on, Sam. I'm going to be kind enough to Sam to think that he's slightly behind us, and that's why he keeps jumping in. I thought Vernon was all right yesterday. I saw quite a bit of criticism at the time, but I think we're seeing the best you can get out of him. He's creating opportunities. He's moving it around. I think he could do more defensive work, as you were laid to, Bruce. But I thought overall his performance and him as Van Thorson play each other, off. And it's one of those things where, as the longer they go on together, we're going to get that football manager thing that suggests that they can swap and play each side, and they'll know each other's games.
Yeah, he looks a threat every time he gets the ball, Vernon. Like I agree. The defensive side does lack in his game, but I'd say the same for Van Thornton as well. That's what we've got to get used to him is them not doing that so much. Artell wants them high up the pitch. He wants them on the ball and he wants them running at people. Get them doing that, then they're doing it. They're doing the job they're being told to do. Am I right in thinking as well that yesterday there was no loan signings in the lineup?
I would imagine not. I can't think of who are our loan. Davis, Abiku, Luca. Luca Barrington came on, didn't he?
Yeah, he came on, but not starting. I mean,
yeah, no, nobody else. I don't think.
Well, that's a positive, isn't it? That we've got a decent 11 without relying on loans.
Daniel Lewis makes a good point, saying that Vernon and Van Thorson, I imagine, defend a lot more than Issa do, and that's all we need. So not absolutely.
That's a low bar. That's a low bar. Anything that references last season is a low bar.
That man didn't track back for anybody.
And again, remember Abu? We were all waxing lyrical about him at this. Compare it to this stage last season, where yesterday we'd be like,
it's exactly the same.
We cracked a load of chances. We manoeuvred the ball. We had a pretty good way of playing. It was all very exciting. This time last season, we were utterly reliant upon Abu not smashing one in from 30 yards out. The contrast between where we are at this stage of the season versus last stage of the season, it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? In terms of the sort of basis of our season, if you like.
Mark Worrell says, everyone in the dairy office I work in keep asking how McJanet is getting on because that's where he's come from. He's fitted in really well. I had an ice cream today that looked like Sam's head, just missing the flake. So there you go.
And I'm not having any. I'm not having.
Downright.
I'm not having that was works either. Josh
Jensen says accidents with lawnmowers can be fatal. Glad you survived, Sam. PDA wants to say, let's give a mention to Curry. He looked confident even though he ballooned one over the bar. It was a heck of a miss that. I'm going to just hope that he took a bobble before he took it. But
He missed it. It would have been goal of the decade that if that went in. What a lovely move that was. It was glorious.
Alex, I've just thought of something actually. Can I send it to you in the group just to show it happens to the best of you in front of the Osmond?
You are more than welcome to.
All
Did somebody fall over?
No, give me a sec.
I haven't seen that for ages. Has anyone seen any away fans fall through the escape
No.
board? Are you okay, Sam?
I'm fine, aren't I? Because I'm not going to get. I've had to put a cap on indoors to avoid abuse.
I thought that was the one that Youngies just put a message in our little private chat, basically saying that Sam looks like a Make-A-Wish kid who wants to come on a podcast at one time.
I'm not sure that'll be on anybody's bucket list, to be honest. Right, I'll put it in the group. I'll put it in the group for you.
Which group are we looking at? Our group.
35, our group. Yeah, this is to show that it can happen to anybody in front of the pontoon. This is the goal scoring supremo, Clive Allen.
I can't. It's not.
I'm waiting with bated breath for this, Bruce.
Is it not sent yet? Oh, well, carry on talking about something else. It'll upload in a minute.
Okay, there we go.
When do we play the calendar game?
That's at the end of the pod. You've got to wait.
Why is he so? He's so impatient. So impatient.
If we do it too early, people, Sam, we'll lose listeners halfway through.
Yeah, people
when the game's gone.
Marina Halley says, hello. Graham Dixon says, Corey's been transformed this season. Mike says it's too late. We've already seen it. Andrew now says, Sam Thorson gets a lot of grief from some in the lower for not getting stuck in. That's not what he's in the team for. Mark Waters says, never seen a conservative chav before.
Just new avenues of abuse every week.
He'll be on coke at the next hunt, won't he?
Yeah. Just not a bit of ice with it. Did you hear Artell's post-game presser? He said how much he loved the club and wants to be here for a while. Keep putting him in performances like that, Andrew. He can be here as long as he wants. And the other one that I've seen is the most Grimsby comment I've ever seen. Now I've got to find it again. I'm
pleased you do this job, mate, because I can barely see my phone without my glasses on.
Daniel Lewis says we will be. This is the most Grimsby comment ever. We'll be lucky to keep hold of McJanet. He's class. There are two types of football fan: one who wants good players, and the other one that is terrified of losing them.
We're not allowed nice things. That's it. They'll be gone in 6 months.
I get the basis of it. Every time we get a half decent player, whether it be, I don't know, Bogle, McAtee, Camille Conte, blah, blah, within a year, 18 months maximum, they're gone, aren't they? This is our position in the food chain. We're a stepping stone for clubs. No one's, apart from young lads from Cleethorpes, is dreaming of kind of having 500 games for Grimsby Town. This is just the reality of where we're at. So enjoy them while we've got them. Should be our mantra.
Andrew Niles wants to know how we say Svan Thorson's name. So Joss, if you can help, type it in phonetically and we'll put it up. What should we say? He said after the game he was going out with his dad. I assume Bags Ball or something like that. I don't know, but he was going out and enjoying the town. Scoring a goal and then going out on Cleethorpes on a Saturday night is what town players are made for, isn't it, Bruce?
Oh, the Bags. There's a Wednesday night, the Bags.
I know, but I thought what was I going to say?
But it was a very good shout. It was a very good shout, and I'm not going to. But yeah, what a place the Bags was.
So Joss has come back saying it's Swan Thorson. Is it pronounced Yason?
Oh,
and then Tacklebury just said, I just call him Iceman. He popped to Iceland.
Svan Thorson. Can't we just call him that? Or Swan? Oh, I can't. No, this is
Swan Thorson.
That's made it even more confusing.
You've got to listen. You've got to take into consideration as well the sort of the listeners that we have.
Crowell says Crowell Mariner says he saw him in Walters last night.
Yes, I wonder as long as he was in Teddy's on the karaoke at some point with his dad. That'll do it for me.
I'm going to be looking at all the Facebook photos, from every pub in town when they post them things now to see if I can spot him.
Oh, my mate did that once. He once went on a thing, saw a girl that had been tagged on a thing on Facebook, and he got a date out of it. Told her that they'd been chatting the night before, and he hadn't even been in there. And he got a date out of it.
And then you married her,
Credit to him.
Bruce. Well done.
Yeah, sorry. My friend.
Rob Clark says, nice to see many players supporting the attack. Must have been 5 up there when Daddy, Swan Thorson, Jason, Iceman scored. Very refreshing compared to last season. They started the Icelandic war chat, I heard. That's a great idea. And Matt Dean always says Jason like Sloane Rangers. So there you go. Sloane Ranger.
We don't know is the long and short of this.
Bruce, are you ready?
And nobody knows.
Has anybody got anything to say? Anybody want to say anything about the transfer window? My thoughts are that I would imagine they wanted somebody else, but they got a Bicker in instead, who's a steady hand. It'll be good to see what he's doing. If we're playing this well, he's going to get a couple. What have you got to say on it, Sam? You got 2 or piece?
Artell missed out on 2 midfielders who were close to happening, but didn't quite end up getting over the line for one reason or the other.
Their loss if they don't want to look good. Bruce, are you ready for your game? It is the first.
I was born ready. After its trial episode last month, it's ready this time to roll out.
It is the 1st of September, a new month, which only means it's time for Bruce to get his calendar out. It's time for Bruce's calendar game.
Yes, we are ready.
I'll be honest, I think he wasn't looking at the screen.
I was. I saw the pictures, you tosser.
How long have you been working on that, mate? How long have you been working on that?
All morning. Went through his Facebook like a prowler, found some bits.
Good work.
So I'll hand over to you, Mr. Fenners.
Right.
After your disastrous time at running this thing on the cricket club, we're handing it over to you again. God knows why.
What I need from you.
Well, hang on, Brucey.
Yes.
You've got to say the line, haven't you? It's Brucey's play your cards right. It's nice to see you.
To see you. Nice, Richard.
Nice. Thank you.
Right. Here are the rules. There will be 2 contestants, and there will be one of you that is the judge whether the player is higher or lower. I think initially that's going to have to be Alex or Youngie because of Sam's inexperience.
I'll be the judge.
Right, you'd like to be the judge. You're my dolly dealer for the evening. Richard, you are taking on Sam. Sam, you get to play first as the youngster on the group. We will start with this year's Mr. September. This is Danny Rose, August. And that will be your first card. After that, you've got to negotiate your way through 9 calendars, going higher or lower based on the quality of the. If it's too slow, we'll cut it for the download.
You say that we should only stick this to an hour. We've got 12 minutes left.
Right, we'll move on quickly then. Maisie has shuffled the calendars for me before we started. You will not find out the year of the calendar until you've chosen higher or lower. Because generally, anything before 2000 will be better than what we've got now. Right, Sam, your first player is Charles Vernam. Charles Vernam, are we going higher or lower than Charles Vernam?
Oh, the balance that good because there could be a hell of a lot because you could end up with someone.
Right, we have got work tomorrow, Sam. We have got work tomorrow.
I haven't.
Some of us do.
Higher or lower than Charles Vernam?
Lower.
Right, your year is 2022. You've got a pretty good
It's
chance.
definitely lower. It's Charles Vernam.
Oh, Alex, you've got a game on here. Ryan Taylor.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Taylor's higher.
Taylor's higher. Youngie, you're in the seats. Ryan Taylor, higher or lower?
I'll go lower.
Lower. You've got 2004 relegation season.
Oh, the greatest shirt that the world has ever seen.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Right, lower than Ryan Taylor, you've got Jason Crow.
Oh.
This is tough, Alex, isn't it? This is a tough start. This.
Oh, this is... I'm going to say Ryan Taylor because I can't even remember any decent things.
Okay, Youngie, you're still in the hot seat. Jason Crow, higher or lower?
Lower.
Right, lower than Jason Crow, you've got the 2001 side from the championship.
That's never. No,
Right.
I've gone wrong here.
Right, September.
It's Ryan Taylor, by the way.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Gra-
Paul Raven. Paul Raven. Higher
Ryan
or lower
Taylor
than
is
Jason Crow?
Ryan Taylor is higher than Paul Raven.
Right,
who I say started the decline of the club.
So do we stay on? Do we stay on Ryan Taylor, or do we? No, are we just shelving these?
No, Ryan Taylor. Yeah, stay on
Ryan
Taylor's
Taylor.
Okay.
Youngie, higher or lower than Ryan Taylor?
I'm going to now go higher. Higher than Ryan Taylor.
You've got the 1998 promotion winning side.
Oh, he's
higher
made
than
a
Ryan,
decision here.
higher than Ryan Taylor.
Unless it's Matty Bloomer.
Higher than Ryan Taylor, you've got Jack Lester.
Get in!
Jack Lester is slightly higher than Ryan Taylor.
Okay, Jack Lester. Jack Lester, higher or lower, Youngie?
Cup semi-final.
Jack
Lower.
Lester, higher or lower?
Lower.
Oh, we're back into the mid-90s. This could be.
This could be harsh.
If it's Jack Lester again, if it's Jack Lester, you're not getting anything for a pair in this game.
No.
This might be an honorary one. Craig Shakespeare, bless him.
We have to go with
We've got to go higher, haven't we?
Yeah, I've got to let it go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bloody hell, Bruce, bring down the mood.
Sorry, I couldn't help that. It was just the way it happened. I didn't know that was there. Right.
So, is it Margot again now?
Yeah, higher or lower than Craig Shakespeare, and bless him, he's had his moments. So this is a fair contest.
Right. So this is Grimsby. He's better, even though he. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm gonna go with lower.
Lower than Craig Shakespeare. You've got the 2021 calendar. You've got a good chance.
I'm in good shape here. I think I reckon I'm in good shape.
Right. August was Montel Gibson. September is George Williams.
Yeah, I think we'll stick. George Williams.
Right.
I don't even need to say anything. He went to the
calendars.
Euros. Hang on, he went to the Euros semi-final. Don't you know?
We've got 3 calendars left, Sam, and if you get it wrong on the last one, you lose. Right.
Whoa.
So we are Craig Shakespeare. Higher or lower?
Lower.
You've got 2023. Your chances are again good.
Yeah, honestly, Bruce, the fact that was clearly a new calendar, but from the back they had the new logo on it, meant that it did influence.
Craig Shakespeare or Luke Waterfall?
Didn't Shakespeare have a career in the second division and Luke Waterfall's barely had one?
Sam, you're not involved in this decision.
We're talking about legendary status, and I've got to say, Craig Shakespeare was a fine footballer, but in terms of legendary moments, Luke Waterfall has it.
My Dolly dealer gives it to Luke Waterfall. Sam, mute him.
No, it's funnier listening to him get annoyed.
Right, 2 calendars to go,
This
young.
isn't more legendary or not, it's about better or worse.
You're back in the hot seat. You're back in the... Sam!
This is bollocks, this is. I'm not playing. This is ridiculous.
Right, where are we? Luke Waterfall. Youngie.
I'll go lower. Lower than Luke Waterfall.
Lower than Luke Waterfall, you've got 2020. It could be Luke Waterfall.
It could be, yeah. Get nothing for a pair in this game.
Alex, Luke Waterfall or Elliot Hewitt? Or Elliot Hewitt?
Oh, it's a tight one, isn't it? Obviously not. Luke Waterfall wins that.
Right, Youngie, this is it. You're in the hot seat on the final go. If you get this right, you win. If you get it wrong, Sam takes the crown by default. This is higher or lower than Luke Waterfall.
I'm going to go lower. Lower than Luke Waterfall.
Right, it's 2019. Again, you've got another good chance.
Higher than Luke Waterfall, did you say?
Lower than Luke Waterfall, didn't he?
Lower. Yeah, lower.
Oh, hang on. I'm on the legends. That wouldn't have been good for you. It's a double-sided calendar.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Please
I feel
go,
like we've gone full circle. Charles Vernon. Alex.
Oh yeah, lower. He's lower.
Youngie takes the first monthly. Play your calendars right. That concludes tonight's game.
I'm going to BAR on that one. I'm not having the Shakespeare is a worse player than Luke Warthog. But anyway, apparently these are the rules. And when it's my turn to be adjudicator next month, I will remember this.
You don't know any of the players past 2004, so you can't really do it. You're always going to have to be a contestant. It's like trying to get.
Lose.
I'm not trying to rig it for you to lose. No, it's funnier if you do. But you know, it's not just about it. It's about how their status is at the club. That's what I go on, the status of the club.
It's all down to you, Dolly Dealer. However you want to interpret it, it's entirely up to you. I thought that was seamless.
I think it's been fair and cold down the middle.
You would say that though. You won.
And people are not happy.
I sound like a really bad loser now.
Like the election result, you just need to accept it and move on.
It's been a hell of a summer, hasn't it, Sam? It's been a hell of a summer.
Well, I've done enough losing this year already.
Yeah, well,
it's lucky Town have turned the corner then, mate, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't count anymore. Now they're not under a Conservative leader. He's not happy about it. But look. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. We might have a competition, Sam.
Biggest head loss of the week.
Are you going on his? Are you going on his show, old Bantam's Anger or whatever he's called?
Bedroom Banter.
I'll be invited on the Bradford podcast.
Why not?
Me on the Bradford podcast? I don't think so. Apparently I've been accused of treachery by going on Radio Humberside after they rang me up to ask them on, where presumably you gave me their number a few months last year at some stage. I'm apparently now kind of I'm now guilty of treachery and disloyalty towards the podcast. So, well,
it's true.
Here we are.
Rob Clark says Youngie wins a free haircut from the loser's barber. So there we go. Anything anybody else wants to talk about before we move on? We'll probably do a preview with Chesterfield if we can be bothered to ask anyone at Chesterfield to do it. Everybody's quite happy, I'd imagine, after yesterday. Looking forward to a week.
We can play this way away.
Yeah, because about pressure and turn them over. Isn't it?
Well, last time
teams will come on to us away from home as well, won't they? Or they should. Some of them will. Fleetwood didn't, but they didn't need to because they'd already scored.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, as long as we're not playing teams who want to put 10 men behind the ball, I think this type of football will perform pretty well. It's when we don't really have that space to run into behind where I think we'll come across a bit of a problem. Which means, you know, the better we get, the more difficult we're going to actually find it to beat opponents because they're going to try and defend a little bit deeper, especially when we come against bloody Andy Woodman and Bromley.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Alex, that don't bode well for Bromley and Colchester, does it?
No, it does not. Anybody for anything else before we get off the pot? It's nearly an hour. This could be the quickest podcast we've ever done. Lack of content when we win.
That's efficiency.
Nah,
that's not a lack of content. That's efficiency.
Efficiency. Mike obviously puts a lot of drivel into the podcast, which kind of pads it out for longer than it needs to be. That's the only deduction we can make from this.
Oh, Mike puts a lot of drivel into the podcast.
And Mike comes back and says, Bruce, when can I bring the fucking wheelchair back?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell him I'm home now. Can you tell Mike I'm home now, please?
Mike, Bruce is home. So if you want to drop it off, preferably at 3 o'clock in the morning, just to set off all his security equipment, that'd be really appreciated.
One of my mates once turned up in a police car outside the house with no trousers on and one sock and no shoes at 3 o'clock in the morning. The police said, did I know him?
Yeah, but Sam took his boxers back eventually.
No, Sam was well behaved actually when Sam came round.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson.
It was a year today, wasn't it? It was a year today, Sam said. Sam said since we went out on the pod night out into the barge, the cricket club and the barge.
Yeah.
That was a good evening.
Cam still has Mike today.
And we did that highly successful thing where we said, if you want to come and chat to us while we record the pod, come down.
I know it did.
That went well, didn't it? Mariner Hoddo came. Hoddo and his dad came, and that was it.
Yeah. It's what our draw is. This is the draw that we have.
Later
it's like a Mariner Trust event.
Later on in the evening, it's probably lucky that there weren't anybody else there, to be fair.
We did get quite drunk.
At least my mates came out to the bars later on.
They were renter friends. I'm not having that they were your mates.
They're friends. You've seen them since, haven't you?
They have.
Yeah, not with you though.
Sam. No, they've stood with Sam. I saw them at Forest Green, and they stood with Sam. But Sam didn't really say anything. He ignored me for a start. I went and stood behind him.
Ways that night at Forest Green, courtesy of my mate who just was unbelievably negative. If you remember, he moaned about everything.
I think he was allowed. Mark Wattle says Carlisle sacked their manager just in time to play against us for the new manager bounce. So that's great to hear. All in all, a pretty successful weekend, wasn't it?
It was marvellous, Alex.
I loved it. There we go. I've got no other fun ones. I've got one more new jingle, but I didn't play it when Sam was having a go at Crocombe. It's a Sam hot take jingle for when he wants to take people down. It's there for you now because you are of radio status, Sam. We've got you a jingle to go with it.
We got rid of Henry because he went. We got rid of Henry because he went on Humberside too often.
Hey, no, he didn't. He went to Radio Cambridgeshire. He's never come back yet. He gets paid 50 quid a game.
Some of you got any numbers?
He's like 3 strikes out, so you're going to kind of keep track of how many times I'm on Humberside. But I suppose I started this with the spreadsheet regarding pod attendance, didn't I? So I'd be hoisted by my own petard here.
Mark, my friend Mark has absolutely ruined it because he's tried to ask this question every time we've interviewed a player, and he's messed it up because he can't spell woodchuck. So he said, "How much wood could a woodchuck chuck in a woodchuck could chuck wood?" And it's if a woodchuck could chuck wood, and the answer is 11. And Alistair Bowser wants to know: have Carlisle still got Jamie Devitt as caretaker?
Oh my God, that makes me feel old. That Jamie Devitt is a blooming manager. My word.
Him and Ryan Lowe. No, him and Ryan Lowe. Ryan Lowe, we were always trying to get. You know when we used to be really shit, and it was like, well, Chester are really shit, and they've got Ryan Lowe. Why can't we buy Ryan Lowe off them? But that didn't work.
Can you be more specific about when we were shit, please?
Oh yeah, it was between 2003 and 2024. It was this sort of small period of time. By the way, Bruce, today's the anniversary, isn't it? 23 years of us being top of the championship.
And England beating Germany 5-1. What a day that was. What a day that was. How old were you, Sam, in 2001?
September 2001, I'd have been 1. My birthday's in the end of September.
Mike, we're in a WhatsApp group together. Can you stop trying to arrange dropping off a wheelchair in the middle of a podcast?
This thing that Bruce promised to send to the WhatsApp group about 20 minutes ago still isn't here.
I did send it, didn't I? Has it not come?
No.
Surely. I've got Mike's message after mine. Why is it not? Hang on. I don't know what's going on here. Look at it working. Look at it working IT, isn't it?
Oh, it's come through now, Bruce.
Oh, it's come through now. I've clicked on the window. Look, it's come through now. Here you go. This is the best of players doing what Corey did in front of the Osmond. Sorry, Alex. Do we need to give you time to tee it up?
Not really, but I can have a go.
This isn't one for the audio download only listeners, anyway, is it? Really?
Yeah, but they're fine. They like this.
This is for the 7 that are watching now. I'm on
115.
115. Who are these people?
The bots are back.
No, it's not, because we've got rid of Twitter, so we've got an accurate viewing representation now. Instead of when Twitter used to say, "You've had 13,000 people watch this episode of Sam talking about Tom Tugendhat or something."
I bet
here you go.
I've got inside Alan.
I'm really sorry if you had that on the audio. That must have been awful.
Yeah. I've got tinnitus now. Cheers.
Inside Allen.
Yeah, it's, John Helm. The quality of the audio isn't the best, but it's Clive Allen spooning it over the pontoon from about 8 yards. Oh, the Osmond, sorry, from 8 yards.
He's a terrible.
It literally clears the roof. And then about 3 years later, he was scoring 50 goals for Tottenham in a season.
What was worse? Adam Proudlock's penalty or that miss and Corey's miss?
I had a good time in all the shot, apart from Adam Proudlock's penalty.
It's a good town. It's a great town.
Richard Brodie's penalty was worse.
Yeah, Brodie's penalty is... Tony Crane once hit one in a penalty shootout in the auto windscreens against Morecambe, which was literally his last kick for Grimsby Town. I think it cleared the Pony.
We can't end this on a negative.
Sorry.
Well, West Grimsby Town, it would be wrong if we didn't.
Daniel Lewis says Brodie's was worse.
What happened in 2015 with Thingamajig's penalty? Pittman. Was that on target, or did he hit it over the bar?
No. That was the football equivalent of wouldn't hit another set.
Yeah, it was quite high, but it was a lovely finish, though. Alec Capanagna says we haven't heard the Emmerdale theme tune. That's because we played the last of the summer wine one. I
haven't told any stories tonight, have I? Really, not long ones.
Have you not got a story to end it on for us, Bruce?
No, not tonight. I'm afraid. No, I've been totally focused on play your calendars right.
Has it been that much of an interest for you then?
No, but I haven't got much focus.
You drive a Skoda, don't you?
I haven't got much focus.
There we go.
Full stop.
Well, Town won. Let's go around and ask everybody's man of the match from that game, and then we'll get off. Bruce, who was your man of the match from yesterday?
Kev the PA man.
Kev the PA man. Well done. Yeah, no problem. Youngie, what about you?
Kieran Green.
Kieran Green. Sam, what about yourself? Danny Rose. That's an interesting one. And I'll go for McEachran. And Mike, of course, goes for Doug Tharm. So there we go.
When I did this about Nishi, I got abuse, grief, everything under the sun. When it goes on about...
Sam, which bit of before we go do you not quite get? He's just built us up to an exit, and now you've started another conversation. Go on, carry on.
Now I've finished anyway. I was just having a rant. I wasn't expecting a response.
Right, we are done. Enjoy the week of 3 points. Be nice to one another. Tough game coming up. Hope you got your Chesterfield tickets. They sounded more of a gold dust than Oasis tickets, but at least we don't take the piss out of local and valued fans, unlike Oasis, who try and charge you $5,000 for a ticket and blame Ticketmaster instead. Not that I'm angry about it. And that's it. Thank you all for coming. Bruce, as always, wonderful game. Probably the highlight of the podcast every month, which is great because it's only a monthly feature. Brilliant.
I'll see you in October.
See you in October. Yeah, that's it. Sam, great to have you on as well.
Yeah, I won't be around next week because I'm busy, but my football is going to start going up again now, so the part-time sports relegations can end.
Brilliant, good. He's finally getting some money in now. He's working and also on the dole. And Youngie, pleasure as always. Thank you for coming. And
thank you very much. Cheers, Bruce.
And that's it. Thank you all for listening. We shall see you all next week.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life running there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got a penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really